Hello, everyone. Today we're discussing section 5.5, radical expressions with multiple terms. In this video, we'll talk about multiplying and dividing radical expressions with different indices and radicands. And we'll do number 5 and problem number 6. Let's go. How do I multiply or divide when I have a cube root and a square root, or a cube root and a sixth root? How do I put those together? And the key is change it to rational exponent form. So I see right here, I changed the cube root of 5 to 5 to the 1/3 and the square root of 2 to 2 to the 1/2. Then if I can find a common denominator, that will change the index to be the same and I can put them together. What's a common denominator between 3 and 2? 6. And how did I get to 6? I multiplied by 2. So I multiplied the numerator by 2 to get 5 to the 2/6. How did I get to 6 on the second term? I multiplied by 3. So I multiply the numerator by 3. Okay, that's how you fix those fractions. And then I see it's the same index of 6, so I can take out 2 to the 1/6. And then I have 5 squared times 2 cubed, so 25 times 8, which is 200. And then I put it back into radical form, the sixth root of 200. The same idea goes for example 2. Notice I have x to the 2/3 and x to the 1/6. I can make 2/3 have a denominator of 6 by multiplying by 2 to get 4/6. And then I can just subtract. 4 minus 1 is 3. And then simplify 3/6 to 1/2. And then I have the square root of x. Let's try a couple of problems using those ideas. Notice I have the first term, ab squared, and it's the sixth root, so it's raised to the 1/6 power. The next term is a cubed b, and it's the fifth root, so it's raised to the 1/5 power. I distribute because I'm multiplying, I can. So a to the 1/6 times b to the 2/6. This next term is a to the 3/5 times b to the 1/5. Now I want to combine my a's and combine my b's. That's the simplifying part, right? So a to the 1/6 times a to the 3/5, and then b to the 2/6 times b to the 1/5. All right, I need to add the fractions. So I have a to the 1/6 plus 3/5 and b to the 2/6 plus 1/5. I need a common denominator here, which looks like 30. So it's a to the something over 30. Then I fix my numerators. So how do I get to 30? I multiply by 5. How do I get to 30 in the next piece? I multiply by 6. So that's how you kind of fix those numerators. Same thing here. I'm trying to get to 30, so I multiply by 5. I'm multiplying by 1, 5 over 5. Here I'm multiplying by 6. I'm just multiplying by 1, 6 over 6. Let's see how that fixes our numerators for us. So it's all over 30, and this would be 5 plus 18. On B, it would all be over 30, and then this would be 10, because 2 times 5, and then plus 6. So I have A to the 23/30ths, and then I have B to the 16/30ths. Okay, now I can see, dun, 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 have the same index. So now I can put it back together. And I have A to the 23rd, B to the 16th, and now that is the root 30. This would be A to the 23rd, B to the 16th, all raised to the 1/30th, right? I can now take that out, and then I can change it back to radical form. Awesome. Let's try number 6. All right, number 6, we have x to the 5th y squared raised to the 1/4 power divided by x to the 6th y raised to the 1/7 power. Go ahead and distribute. So x to the 5/4, y to the 2/4 over x to the 6/7, y to the 1/7. Now I want to consider my x's and my y's. Remember, we're dividing, so now we're going to subtract. And I need to have a common denominator. So between 4 and 7. So basically I have x to the 5/4 minus 6/7 and y to the 2/4 minus 1/7. We're trying to get the same index, so don't simplify here. We wouldn't want to make that 1/2 minus 1/7 because then we wouldn't have the same index as the x. Okay. And so now we see the common denominator is 28. So let's go ahead and do that. 28. How do I fix the numerator? Well, I multiply by 7 or I multiply by 4. 7 times 5, 35, and then minus 6 times 4, 24. The y will all be over 28, and I fix the numerator by multiplying by 7 and multiplying by 4, so 14 minus 4. Now let's clean that up. So 35 minus 24 is 11. X to the 11/28. And then y 14 minus 4 is 10 to the 10/28. Now we don't want to simplify this because we want to put it back as a single radical. So we put it back as x to the 11th, y to the 10th, and my new index is 28 because this is x to the 11th, y to the 10th raised to the 1/28th power. And that's how you do it. Do you want to learn a shortcut? Notice that the index will multiply by the other index to get the denominator, right? How do I find a common denominator? You multiply the index. All right, so I know my new index will be 30. That's step 1. And then I want to crisscross. How do I fix the numerators? Remember, I multiply by the other. So here I would multiply a times 5 and b times 5, right? So a to the 1st, that's a to the 5th, and b to the 10th. See these numbers right here? 5 and 10. Then I crisscross. 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 1 is 6. So that's where you get 18 and 6. Start with your index. 6 times 5 is 30. I put my new index. Then I consider the a's. It will be 5 times 1 and 6 times 3. So 5 times 1 is 5. 6 times 3 is 18. So 5 plus 18, 23. Okay, let's try B. Can you do that same trick? It's just because that's what we did over here when we fixed our numerators and added our fractions. How do I figure out the exponent on B? So that's going to be 5 times 2 plus 6 times 1. So 10 plus 6, 16. Ooh, what a fun trick. Let's try it again. So first I start with 4 times 7, 28. Then I think about the x's. Remember, I'm subtracting. So 7 times 5 is 35 minus 4 times 6. So that gives me the 11. Then I think about the y's. I take 7 times 2, which is 14, minus 4 times 1, which is 4. 14 minus 4 is 10. Whoa! I hope you liked it. Have a wonderful day.